Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. Sometimes it can be quite difficult to bring those videos to life. So today I thought I'll bring you 10 tips to help you improve your filming and editing workflow in order for those ideas to see the light of day. Starting off with tip number 1, my friends, create a folder with a text document within it dedicated to your ideas. Because thoughts come as fast as they go. And if you're anything like me and have multiple commitments and very little spare time, then having a simple method to note these down is absolutely crucial. Currently I use iCloud for the majority of these systems, but you can use any cloud storage provider such as OneDrive, Google Drive, Dropbox, even Evernote. By all means, you can always go old school with your pen and notepad, but having it in the cloud means that you can quickly and easily add to your folder via your computer, tablet, or even smartphone. The idea here is to have as little limitations as possible, because as you know, the less barriers we have, the more likely we are to write them down. Tip número 2. Create a template folder that you can duplicate for every single video that you're about to start. Because we've all been there before, my friends, and as you know, there's nothing more frustrating than having to dig through piles of messy assets to find what we need. So by having an organized folder with subfolders for your A-roll, B-roll, script, project, thumbnail, exports, and SEO document, you can always find what you need when you need it. Then all you need to do is simply duplicate that template folder, rename it with the name of the video that you're about to produce, and move all the assets to their designated subfolders. Don't get me wrong though, I wish I was that organized in other aspects of my life. Anywho, on with tip number 3. Get the audio out of the way ASAP. Choosing the music first can really help you visualize the pace of your video and set the tone of your script, but it can also be the most time-consuming part of the whole process. I personally use Epidemic Sound for my music because it's nicely organized, making it easy to find what I need quickly, and there's also a cool neat feature that lets you search for similar tracks. So once you've found a song that you like, you click on that icon and it gives you massive playlists of songs that sound similar. But as you know, there's a bunch of other music libraries about, so have a look around, give their trial period a go and see which one best works for you. And we are now at tip number 4. Write the script the way you intend to deliver it. There's nothing more annoying than getting to the editing process and realizing that you missed a few key points, or that you spent 5 minutes waffling about the same exact thing, going around in circles, repeating yourself constantly, just using different words. Wait, what? So by writing the script exactly as you intended to deliver it, make sure that 1, you don't miss any key points, and 2, that you don't end up repeating yourself. But I also got another 2 bonus tips here for you guys. 1, write the script in small chunks that you know you will be able to deliver, and 2, put a number before every single chunk, because that will help you in the next step, which is tip number 5. Always write a short list for every single video. What? This is definitely still the same day. The lighting certainly hasn't changed, and I definitely didn't go for a haircut or anything. But anyway, once you're done finishing filming the A-roll, you go over those numbered chunks and decide which bits are going to be A-roll and which bits are going to be B-roll. I normally tend to highlight the B-roll bits so that I can have a mental idea of what the final video is going to look like. I would then also create a checklist for all the B-roll and note down the composition, angle, and movement direction of every single shot. Doing this, my friends, will help you visualize exactly which bits of B-roll you actually need, therefore saving you a ton of that precious storage space. And now we're just over halfway through at tip number 6, which is to use your camera's built-in folder system. So before you shoot anything, my friends, go over to your camera settings and create folders for every single section of your video, including B-roll and also photos, just in case, as this will make importing and editing your assets a lot more seamless. Tip number 7, always use some kind of slate. Some more advanced cameras are shipped with built-in slates, but you can always use a physical slate or a digital slate. If you don't know what a slate is, it's basically just a method used to mark down your clips. Then you just need to note down your favorite take for each part of each scene, and this means that when it comes to the editing, you just need to quickly scrub through the clip and select your in points and out points and just drag them onto your timeline. This will save you so much time because now you don't have to listen to the entirety of a clip. You can just go in, select those in and out points and drag it to your timeline. And with time, you'll be able to just look at that waveform and identify where those sections are. But wait, there's more, my friends. Alongside marking down your clips, it is also used to sync different cameras. So if you're not using one, now is a good time to start. And we are now at tip number 8, which is basically to have a template for your Premiere project or Final Cut library. And how would you do that? Well, if you open your program of choice, then create a new file and start creating some bins if you're in Premiere Pro, or start creating some folders if you're in Final Cut Pro, and then name those folders after your A-roll, your B-roll, your audio, your projects, your graphics, and then you can start importing everything that you use at all times, i.e. sound effects or any graphics that you always use. You can then import those into your template project, and then you can save that inside the template folder that I mentioned in tip number 2. And then, as you guessed, as soon as you duplicate that template folder that I mentioned on tip 2, you then have a new project ready for you to start, so you don't have to re-import all of those graphics and all of those sound effects every time. They will always be there, and that will save you a ton of time when it comes to editing. And now, my friends, we are at tip number 9, which is to build your timeline in an efficient way. When I first started my editing journey, I used to grab a bit of A-roll and then drop it on my timeline, do all the color and sound adjustments to it, and I would then bring any bits of B-roll and graphics that needed to go alongside it. I would then move on to the next bit of A-roll and start the whole process again. This is the most inefficient way to edit, and if you do it this way, please, I beg you to stop. Instead, start by grabbing your clip of A-roll and bring it down to your timeline. Then do all the color and sound adjustments, but the important thing here is to save those adjustments as presets. Then, instead of grabbing any bits of B-roll or graphics that go alongside it, just simply move on to the next clip of A-roll. But don't do any adjustments to it, just keep on going through the A-roll until you've got your main storyline. And this is what I call the skeleton timeline. Once you are finished with that main skeleton timeline, simply grab an adjustment layer and extend it throughout the entire timeline. Once this is done, simply grab your presets and drag them onto that adjustment layer. This will make sure that all of your clips have a base adjustment. Then once that is done, all you've got left to do is to start bringing those clips of B-roll, those graphics, and fill in that timeline with some music. And we are finally at tip number 10, which is to use the export presets that your program gives you. Because I've been there and I know how easy and tempting it is to just whack that quality slider right up and click export. However, as some of you know, most social media platforms, including YouTube, have a lot of compression. So all you're doing is just heating up your hardware. Instead, just choose one of those presets because they have that compression in mind and will make sure that your video is as optimized as possible for that platform. And there you have it, my friends. Those were my top 10 tips to improve your filming and editing workflow. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, to me, the most important thing is to be able to capture that initial idea and having a system in place that makes it simple and easy to follow it through. But what techniques do you currently use to make your workflow as efficient as it can be? Do you have any tips for me? Let me know in the comments below. But that, my friends, just about wraps it up for today. If you found any value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're enjoying this kind of content, please subscribe to this channel because I have a lot more of it prepared just for you. But thank you so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.